Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had an idea that made you think this could actually work? Not just a fun idea, not just a brainstorm, but something real, something you could build. And then suddenly the question changes. Yesterday, the question was, what if? Today, the question becomes, how in the world do we actually build this? Welcome to the startup stage. This is where ideas stop being conversations and start becoming reality. Thank you, everyone. Welcome in to Kindness Rising this morning. I appreciate everyone who is getting up, getting after it with me this morning. We have a little fun, a little bit of energy here on Kindness. Absolutely. And all week long, we are talking about the business cycle stages. We reviewed it together on Monday. Sorry, I lost my train of thought here. We overviewed it together on Monday. Yesterday we were talking about ideation phase. I don't know if you can see that or not. Someday I'm going to figure this out. The ideation phase, absolutely, where we discover the ideas, and this is where our visionaries and our creatives really thrive. And the leadership mindset is exploration. You're just thinking about ideas, you're brainstorming, you're kicking it around ideas with everybody and exploring all the concepts. Asking the what ifs, all the what ifs. And you're researching, absolutely the investment focus. When you're spending your time in ideation, you are researching, and then of course, curiosity and growth. But here we are moving into the startup stage. That's what we're talking about today on Kindness Rising, the startup stage where your primary objective is to build. That's all you're doing. You're building, head down, building. You're solving problems and executing, actually proving that your idea can be done. Your time and effort is spent in product development, and of course, you're lighting up your action and your curiosity springs, just like we do here on Kindness Rising every morning. Welcome in, everybody. Say hello in the chat. Mike Sullivan, Future Life Coach, is out there just like he is every day, and so am I. I am here every day, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to get you up with a little hope, humanity, and heart. And sometimes we get a little more academic or business-oriented, because that's what my experience is. And sometimes we talk about emotional intelligence or our mental health or what's going on in the world, always with a tone of kindness, of curiosity, of finding our balance and our growth, our having self-awareness, all the strings of Kindness Rising. But like I said, today we're talking about the startup stage of the business cycle. This stage is different. It's where someone finally says, all right, we got all these ideas. Someone's got to do something. Let's try it. This is where the ideas meet the world. You build your prototype. You talk to your customers. You're testing things, and you're discovering what works. If you've ever been through building something from scratch, you know that this is where the grind happens and you're trying things, then there's failures, then there's reiterations of things. It's messy and plans change constantly. New ideas are, oh, we got to tweak that, constant tweaks, right? That is what startup is all about. If you like stability and routine, same thing every day, every day, every day. Startup is a tough place to be, except for showing up every day. Just like, hey, Max Langley. Max Langley is showing up here on LinkedIn with Kindness Rising. Max Langley, check him out over on LinkedIn for sure. The smartest, funniest, most ridiculous lawyer on the planet, perhaps. I don't know. Great meme dropper, silly insights, and a podcast to boot. Chit.com, CHIT.com. Check out Max Langley. Thanks for joining, Max. Appreciate you dropping in. Say hello to my mom, Max. That's Roseanne Rouff. She's over on YouTube. I don't know if you guys can see each other, but Max, Roseanne, Mike Sullivan, everybody who's here every day, say hello in the stream. Talk to me. Tell me your startup story. What's up? Were you in a garage in Silicon Valley? Or were you, I don't know, in an office figuring out how to ship books on a daily basis, right? How about Patagonia? You guys know the story behind Patagonia? I've talked about them as one of my favorite brands as we've moved along, right? The starter of Patagonia brand, it started with not building a giant company, just figuring out how to make better climbing gear, forging his own climbing pools, and figuring out how to make it better, tools for specifically for outdoor adventures. And what started off as a side project for climbers, and in his passion became one of the most respected companies in the world for environmental responsibility. That's pretty cool. And of course, people know the Spanx story. Sarah Blakely and the Spanx, selling fax machines door to door before she pulled on her Spanx to pull all her bits and parts into places. $5,000 in savings. She wrote the patent, cut off feed off a pair of pantyhose, and boom, $1 billion company. That's the kind of startup energy we're talking about. Scrappy, resourceful, and leaning as we go. Max Langley, everything's got a business cycle. Everything. Ultimately, you need to. You have a meme. I don't know. You got the meme force. What are you doing with all those memes other than making us all laugh and drawing attention to yourself, which I appreciate. That's awesome. I love the way you're building a personal brand out there, Max Langley. I've been watching, joining you as you go. It's awesome. You see the content. You don't necessarily think a lawyer in the construction industry is going to lay down that kind of vibe. So thanks so much, Max. Keep going out there in LinkedIn, in land with your podcast. It's awesome. And thanks for joining me this morning. I just really appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's turn off the Kindness Rising theme and maybe we'll slide into a different mode. How's this one? A little more chill. When we hear this beat, we know it's time for our Kindness Spotlight. Because not every startup is about building the next tech giant. Some startups are just focused on solving real human problems. Organizations that help founders are incredibly important, and one of those organizations is called Echoing Green. They support early-stage social entrepreneurs who are working on some of the world's biggest challenges in the world. Things like poverty, education access, public health, and environmental justice. They provide fellowships, funding, and mentorship to founders who are building organizations designed to help underserved community and marginalized populations. Of course, and many of their fellows, they're going on to found nonprofits, social enterprises, and initiatives that impact millions of people. It's a startup incubator focused on doing good in the world. And that's a powerful reminder, again, that startups aren't just about profit. They can also be about purpose. Purpose, just like what we do here on Kindness Rising. We get up with purpose, with hope, humanity, and heart to get our day started 7:30 a.m. Eastern every single weekday. Absolutely. So that people like Max Langley and Mike Sullivan and Roseanne Rouff and all the others who are out there who care to join can get up too. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. For sure. All right. I'm taking a break. That was 10 minutes of talking. How's everybody doing out there this morning? I appreciate you getting up with us on Kindness Rising. We're the opener for the mornings in the Lab Network. We're just getting started here today, getting started with the Mornings in the Lab Network, adding more shows, more content, more positive vibes in your morning to get you up and get you going, not hitting that snooze button, because we're building a format. Yes, we've got shows and we've got more shows and we've got a network, because when you put a bunch of shows together, that's what you've got. You've got a network. But what we have is a format: morning live conversation. Format is stable over time, right? We're in startup mode for sure. We're in growth. We're adding more and more resources, more and more content to our network, more and more structure. But we're building a format. Shows may come and go. The network will build and expand, but the format is what stays stable. That's the business model we're building at Mornings in the Lab Network, the business model of morning communications for the future around the world. That is what we're here for. And you can be part of it. Reach out to me. We can talk about how we can get you involved in Mornings in the Lab Network. We're talking about building your own show, producing your show for you. So all you have to do is show up. And we're also talking about sponsorships if you're interested in supporting a network of leading communicators who have built loyal followings, loyal communities. That's the other thing we can do for you right here on the Mornings in the Lab Network. All right. How many people did I chase away with my commercial today? I don't know, but I like to talk about it because it's important to me. We are starting up. We are getting up and after it and getting going every day. Keith Billis, myself, Cheryl Raphael Whitaker, Jason Hewlett. We've got the What the Truck story coming. We've got Brianna Bass on Tuesdays with Mornings in the Lab, and we've got a host of others joining us right now because it is the future of communication, and that future is now at Mornings in the Lab for sure. All right, back to our content at hand. I rambled through the spotlight into a commercial without changing the tune. How about that? These are the startup problems nobody warned you about. Of course, when you get going on startup, everyone thinks it's this exciting energy and you're the leader of the pack and you're going to drive your idea forward. You've got this idea and you're seeing it come to life and you're so excited, and then it gets real. All of a sudden, you're the head of IT, the head of marketing, the head of customer support, buying office supplies, head of emotional support for each other. Your job description becomes everything. Everything. Fix the website, answer emails, build the product, order chairs, and at some point you look around and realize you don't even like chairs anymore. And then there's coffee, because coffee stops becoming a beverage during startup and coffee becomes a lifestyle. That's why somewhere around cup number 6, you'd start saying things like, I think we should pivot the entire business model tonight. Get a little crazy. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. That is startup problems nobody warned you about. All right. I'm glad people join me here on Kindness Rising. Welcome, welcome in. If you have never been here before, or if you have, don't forget to get involved right there in the comments. We are building a community all week long with Roseanne Rouff and Mike Sullivan and Max Langley for sure, who are out there. The rest of you get involved in the chat. Absolutely. And back to what we're talking about. We are talking about the business cycle stages. Did you come here for education? I hope you did, because that's part of what we do on Kindness Rising as we think about our growth and our involvement, our leadership business cycle, understanding what stage your business is in, or the business that you're interacting with is in. If you're in B2B, especially understanding that having the context will help you to succeed, will help you in your approach, to building your own business, will help you in your approach to dealing with others, because you will have better empathy and understanding of where they are, and you'll be able to communicate better. That's why we educate, to understand what's going on, so that we can understand others. Here on Kindness Rising, we're in the startup mode where we are builders and we are executing and product development, and there's tons of curiosity, but really the biggest thing in startup mode, as far as our six strings go, is action. Because ideas don't become companies through thinking, they become companies through building prototypes, experiments, and small steps forward. Action turns imagination into reality. That's what you do. We step forward with action every day. Thinking about ideas. I've been there. I have gotten sucked into my ideas. All my ideas are great. They're around there. Nobody knows a damn thing about them. I'm not putting anything in action to show it, to test it, to try it. It's just, I'm smart. I got all these ideas. I have been in that mode. I've also been in the action mode where I'm just doing stuff. I like that better. Just do stuff. Have an idea where you're going. Take a step back once in a while. Take a look. But you got to put something in action, because action is what turns that imagination into reality and sparks the next idea. And of course, curiosity is our other string we're talking about here today, as we're into startups, because startup teams learn constantly. What works? What doesn't? What should we try next? And curiosity keeps that team adapting as the ideas evolve. Absolutely. And I'm going to try to catch my breath. Yes. All right. Startup leadership. Let's just talk about that, right? It's different than when you're in a mature leadership mode, right? In a mature company, when you're a leader, you're optimizing systems, you're moving things forward, sometimes trying to turn the ship in a harbor, or have an uphill battle to make things go a little bit faster. But when you start building them, and when you're in a startup, you're making decisions without complete information. You're changing direction when needed. You have to stay flexible and keep moving forward. And that's what knowing what stage you're in is really important. And being able to flex your style for that is the challenge, right? Some people are very much optimizers and system-oriented people in a mature company, and they're very comfortable there. If you're going to make the leap into startup, you've got to think about that, changing directions when needed, staying flexible, keeping moving forward, because startup leadership is less about perfection and more about momentum. Just keep things moving through action, kind action, real action, not ideas just tumbling around. Take some action, learn, Know you're going to make some mistakes. Know you're going to fail, and keep building off of those failures. That's what startup is all about. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about growth. I didn't realize that oh well, sometimes I lose track of things. I had that slide, the business cycle slide up there the whole time. Did not intend to do that. All right. So here's another idea, right? Because not all of us are in business mode. But you might be outside of work and realizing that something is in startup mode. Maybe you're building a business. That's what people think of as startup, right? But maybe it's a project at home or a creative idea or something you're trying to do. It's getting to be spring. Maybe you're starting your garden. I don't know. Maybe you're going to paint your house. Maybe you're going to build something. Maybe you're going to do something. Hey, Mom. Yes. Glad to see me back. I never went away. Did I go away? I feel like I've been here the whole time. I don't know. Where in your life are you in startup mode, Mom? That's a question for you. Is it a project, a creative idea, a startup stage where you feel uncertain? Because uncertainty is often the price of progress. Progress, absolutely. And that's what happens when you're in startup mode, right? It's really uncertain. It can be exciting. It can be risky. And you can try things. That's why I think the arts and doing something creative is so important, because it helps us learn how to take risks in less my God, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Less important. It's not that it's less important, but there's a word that was in my brain and now it's gone. That's okay. Yeah. So learning how to take risks, try things in safer environments where the repercussions might not be as strong helps us to train our brain to try things outside of, or when it's more public, maybe, or when it's impacting others more than just ourselves, right? And realizing that it's okay to start a project and realize it's going in a different direction, or sending yes, exactly, Mom, your art. Yes, for those who are out there who don't know this about my mother, she is an absolutely amazing artist of Byzantine icons, if I have that correctly, Mother. But all the saints with their gold halos and amazing details in a very ritualistic and important way. I know that's given you a lot of comfort and peace and connection, Mom. So that's awesome. Absolutely, with your art. No question about it. All right. So I'm going to call on everyone to do something, right? To take one small step towards an idea that you've been thinking about. Send the email, start the project, sketch the prototype, whatever it is. Let's try this. Let's try something. That's the moment. That's the moment where you move from ideation to startup. Let's do this. Let's try this. Absolutely. Yes, like deciding to sell it. Are you going to sell it, Mom? You've got a lot of it. I'm sure there are pieces that you'll want to keep, but that's up to you how you want to share it. I know you share your art in different ways, through gifting and through people, what is it called? Commissioning you and all that. And yes, you've got a lot. We can talk about it. You're trying to decide whether to sell it. I understand. Knew this day might come someday, Mom. I didn't realize we'd be doing it on a live chat, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. That's fine. All right. I can't believe it. The time is flying by here on Kindness Rising, as my mother and I apparently, or I speak to my mother through this. Let's get some more music going here as we wind up on startup, right? That movement from ideation into action. When we move from discovery and interest to actually building something, that prototype that's going to flop or fail, we know that, right? Or we're going to learn from it and grow. We're going to test things. This is where we test things, right? Marketers like myself, we love to test things. A/B test it. Let's test it. Oh, which one works better? Where are we getting the reaction? So we would get data and get information as we're starting up and listening to people, right? And helping to design marketing and messaging that hits and gets the best results. That's what we do for sure. Anyway, I'm yakking here to some new tunes, and yeah, who did I miss? I feel like I missed something. Yes, another organization that what happened there? Okay, all right. Another organization that was founded and was in startup mode, came out of an idea, right? An idea of founders from who are graduate students, poor graduate students, and they're like, my glasses, they're so expensive. And then you lose one. And how can we afford to replace them? So they started asking a simple question. What if glasses were affordable and sold directly online? Absolutely. That's Warby Parker. They're amazing. Okay. Wow. It's happening again. All right. Things are going off the rails. What is happening? Things got kooky. All right. Warby Parker. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about startups. We were talking about how organizations, a group of graduate students, just asked a simple question, one of those what if questions. What if glasses were affordable and sold directly online? And that question turned into the company Warby Parker, who also is doing great things out there in the world, donating glasses to people in need around the world. Absolutely. And Warby Parker and Patagonia and Spanx. And we talked yesterday a little bit about, I was trying to get away from Apple and Amazon and the corporate giants because those stories are known, but there's a few extra stories that all have one thing in common. They started with curiosity and courage to try something, with humble startup moments. That's the key, having that courage to start something, build something, and see what happens. That's startup mode. All right. Well, thanks for joining me again today here on Kindness Rising. We come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to get up with a little hope, a little humanity, and a little heart, some high fives for humanity for sure. And then at 8 a.m., we get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends on the Mornings in the Lab network, where we are building the format of the future morning live programming. All right. Ideas. Ideas are where the journey begins. We talked about those yesterday, but building is where the journey becomes real. Every company, every project, every innovation at some point moved from imagination into action. And that moment is the startup stage. Come on back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about how to move from startup to growth, as we do here on Kindness Rising every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I'll see you tomorrow. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get-after-it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand, Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.